as the perfect neighbor.
But when gunshots ring out at the couple's back door, their life together is shattered.
He was clutching his chest. He still had his pipe in his mouth.
Multiple gunshot wounds, meaning the killer was going to make absolutely sure that this man was dead.
The search for the murderer spans generations and uncovers multiple victims.
I just stared at it. 52 years and 5 dead men.
All of them were dead by suspicious circumstances.
The first one was shot in the back of his head. The second one, he died on a pier. The third one I know was shot. The fourth one was shot. And the last one, they say maybe he was poisoned.
He was cremated before they knew he was dead.
Can police catch a serial killer a half-century in the making?
All kinds of things went to the lab. There was a governor's reward.
We just trying to keep digging. Every turn we took us to some crazy place.
July 14th, 1986, Norwood, North Carolina. 35-year-old Emery LaHue and his family get a phone call.
It was Monday afternoon, and by the time we got through supper and everything, the phone rang.
On the line is a concerned relative of Emery's 48-year-old neighbor, Harold Gentry.
Harold was one of those people that he never missed work. And when Harold did not show up for work on Monday, it was very unusual.
I didn't know what to think, really. I said, well, just go see what's going on, you know.
The Gentrys lived in a single-story ranch-style brick home in Norwood. It was seated in a rural area.
The glass sliding door was open. And I went in there and I saw Harold laying in the floor. He was just inside the door, laying face down. He was clutching his chest. He still had his pipe in his mouth. There was blood there around his head. There's quite a bit of blood there, you know.
Police are immediately called to the scene.
The law enforcement agencies responded, EMS responded.
I stayed in until the sheriff's department got there. Then other people started coming in, the law enforcement stuff, so I just got out of the way.
It's clear to first responders that it's too late for any life-saving efforts.
He was shot many times. Harold Gentry was dead.
Born in 1938, Harold Gentry grew up one of 8 kids in Norwood, North Carolina.
He just always said they were brought up pretty poor. They lived there in Norwood for a long time at this older house.
Mr. Gentry was a sharecropper. Ms. Gentry had one of the hardest jobs of all, of taking care of 8 children along the way. Even though they may not have had many material things, there was never a lack of love in that household.
It was a good childhood. It made them stronger. You know, everybody had to work to make a family come through back then.
As he grew into a young man, Harold looked beyond the few options that Norwood offered.
In Stanly County, if you weren't a mechanic or something like that, 9 times out of 10, you were going to end working up in the mill. And he didn't want to do that.
Serving his country was Harold's ticket out.
When he got out of high school, he went straight into the Army. He was stationed a lot around El Paso and did some work out at White Sands, Missile Base.
In 1967, the Army stationed Harold in sunny Key West, Florida. It was there that the 29-year-old GI met a widowed single mother, 36-year-old Betty Sills.
My mom cut his hair because she did hair down in Key West as well. And that's how they met. my dad had lost the top of his ear in a car accident. And he would joke, he'd be like, don't make this ear look like that one.